This movie it's not good. I don't understand what people are liking about it. Spoilers. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about Damsel. It's a Netflix movie. It's about an hour and 50 minutes. Stars Millie Bobby Brown, Angela Bassett. I'm going to spoil things about this movie because I didn't think it was really good, and people seem to be hyping it up like, oh my god. We follow Elodie, and she's a princess, and her father finds someone for her to marry. Her family's not really rich, and for the first 40 minutes, it's just her talking to her family and them traveling to meet this guy she has to marry. His name is Henry. He's not important because we don't see him very much. Anyway, they go over there, and when they get there, they see like this statue, and they're like, oh man, it looks like a dragon. But when they get there, it's like, wow, this place is beautiful because they're poor. And they're like, oh my god, this is really nice. Everybody is just loving it. Like, I really like it. And then they finally meet Henry and his mom, played by Robin Wright. And right off the bat, you're like, these people look shady as hell. Like, they just look off. Even Henry, like when he's introduced, like he has this look just like, yeah, you can't trust this dude. So him and Elodie, they spend like, it feels like a few hours together. They ride horses. They like, oh my god, we have so much in common. And she's like, oh yeah, this can work out. And she's excited. And then Angela Bassett, she's the stepmom to Elodie. And she's not a bad stepmom. It's not that type of movie. She goes to speak to Robin Wright because she's excited. It's a wedding and I want to put the families together. And Robin Wright is just like, yeah, family, we don't need more family. It's like, whoa, very dismissive. And Angela Bassett is like, all right, I don't think this wedding should happen. It just doesn't seem right. She has her reservations or whatever. And she's like, this might be a mistake. But the father is like, nah, we're going to go through with this. Because he knows. He knows what these people are going to do to his daughter after he makes her marry this guy. But he wants the money because his family has money. So they do the wedding and everything. And then they leave. Look like they're going on a honeymoon or something. And they go to this other spot that looks creepy as hell. And all these people are wearing masks. And they're giving her this backstory of all this crap. And then they cut her hand. And they cut his hand. They put it together. And they're like, you are now royalty. And then he's like, I got to pick you up. Like walk you over the threshold type stuff. And then he goes, I'm sorry. And she's like, what? And he just tosses her off this bridge. And she hits all these trees and falls down. And it's like, okay, I knew something was going to happen. And it turns out that it's a dragon down there. And they are sacrificing this particular young lady to this dragon. Because in the past, and it was like the opening scene, the king, one of the kings and all his men went and they killed the dragon's kids. And it was 3 kids. And then the king was like, my bad. What can I do? And the dragon was like, you're going to give me 3 of your daughters or whatever every such and such years. And the king was like, okay. So then fast forward to now where basically this family just marries Henry to people, put their hands together, say, yeah, you're royal blood, and then toss these women down there. So that took 40 minutes for us to get down there. Now Elodie is, confused what's going on. And she throws like her jewelry and stuff. Then she starts seeing other jewelry because other people have been sacrificed. And the dragon comes out. And the dragon is my favorite part of the movie because thought she looked cool. But the dragon is like a Dollar Tree Smog from Hobbit. Anyway, they talk for a little bit. And it becomes like a cat and mouse game. Because the dragon could just, eat her. And the dragon's like, this is my favorite part. Run. And then shoots fire at her. So Elodie runs. And every place she goes, she starts seeing like hints of other women that showed up. And they have their names on the wall. And then it might say like, this is a safe place. The dragon can't come in here. She's like, okay, cool. Then she finds like these glowing eels that she can make into a light and also heal herself because she got burned from the dragon. And then she just keeps making her way through the corridor. We're not seeing anything else. Like, we don't know what happened to her family. Like, did they get killed? Or are they forced off the island? We don't see any of that. We don't see the queen, the evil queen, or nothing. It's just Elodie making her way to these checkpoints. And then finally she gets to a checkpoint and she's like, oh my god, one of them made it out. And she climbs up and realizes, no, she didn't. She just went up there to die. Because, again, you're in some type of cave. So when you climb up to the top, now you're at the top of a mountain. You can't get out. But then, finally, after about another 30 minutes, we see her dad come down into the cave and he's like, I'm coming to get my daughter. You knew they were going to do this. Now you want to play hero. But we don't get to see any character development whatsoever. So we don't get to see him wrestling with the fact that he's doing this to his daughter or having a conversation with his wife. Like, I have to go get her. You guys wait here. I'm going to bring her back. You know, he just shows up with some people. Like, all right, we're going to get her. They call for her. Of course, she doesn't come out. Dragon comes, kills all of them. And the father tells Elodie, your mother and sister is waiting for you at this boat. So she somehow gets to climb out, and the dragon literally can see her and doesn't make it in time because it's dramatic. So she goes out. The queen, now we see the queen because they see the dragon outside and they're like, I knew she was going to be trouble. We need another sacrifice. So they go and grab her sister, stab the mom. Now Henry is conflicted. Oh my God, I don't want to do this. She's just a kid. So the evil queen does it herself and does the whole blood thing because they have to have royal blood. And they toss the little girl down there because they need a sacrifice. And Elodie somehow meets her mom who got stabbed and is just doing well. Just doing well. Not even like really in pain. Just like, oh, they took your sister. So then we get a whole montage of her going back and going to the bridge, jumping down, running, getting the eels, and then setting up this whole contraption. She done ripped off her wedding dress and everything, like the poster you see, and she has a sword somehow just attached to her back or whatever, and now she's ready to go to war with this dragon. And she fights the dragon, you know, things happen. And she's like, yeah, we're not really royalty, they fooled you or whatever, but the dragon don't care. She wants to eat her because she that's what dragons do. And it's like, what? It's not exciting. It's not exciting at all. You don't get any character development, and she fights the dragon and all of a sudden she's really good with a sword, but we don't see her like learning this stuff. It's not like she was, I'm a princess, but I'm really a warrior at heart and I don't want to get married or nothing like that. There's nothing like that. And like, man, they they think because I'm a princess I can't handle myself. No, it's just you a princess and they threw you down there. So we don't get any character development, and she's just in a cave. She's screaming because she gets burnt, and then she falls asleep, and then she climbs out, and then she goes back in to save her sister. And that's the movie. That's the movie. And of course you know what happens at the end, and I'm not even going to tell you because me telling you most of this, you know what happens at the end of this movie. Because this movie is not good and it's not smart. People, oh my God, it's so smart. Oh. Someone said, oh yeah, it's watchable. Duh, every movie is watchable. But it's not a good movie at all. It's not a good movie. But those are just my thoughts on Damsel. If you watched it, don't know why, let me know what you thought about it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening.